like sports too. I can sing my song. Ain't that right, D-right? New York got the bright lights. Big city of dreams and the nightlife. It's the concrete jungle, now we know it. That's why it's cool to scream New York Knicks. 1973 was the last year. We brought a championship ring here. Lift your hands, Knicks fans. You now have a right to go buck in the stand. Knicks, we here. Keep your head up. New York Knicks, this is your year. Some doubters, some laugh at us. Some went to Brooklyn, some went to Dallas. Shout out to the true Knicks fans who stayed the course. Hope for a win even though we still lost. Shout out to Coach Tibbs and KP. Not the unicorn, but the man from Kentucky. Got Julius playing like a North Star.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a late night edition of Church Guys Like Sports. Let me tell y'all something. Listen, I want to salute the New York Knicks on a great season. I ain't worried about the haters tonight. I ain't hiding. Terrell Young, I am not hiding. Listen, Jackie, I ain't hiding. Bernie, we ain't hiding. First, let me say the Knicks had a great year. We had a great season. Nobody thought we would even make it to the playoffs. Nobody. They didn't even think we were supposed to be a lottery team. This was supposed to be a rebuilding year. Not only did we make it to the playoffs, but we actually won a playoff game. We actually were the number 4 seed. Nobody expected us to win the championship. Who? They ain't expect us to win the championship this year. Now, all these other teams, all your bandwagon New Jersey Net fans, we ain't even talk about y'all. Y'all got Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden. You're supposed to win. But nobody expected the Knicks to even go this far. So we were already further than people thought we would go. So I ain't worried about all of this foolishness. Folks making fun of us. And now what the Knicks have done, we setting ourselves up for next year. Watch what happens next year. Because now we are a destination for free agents. They'll come to us now. You watch. We got Damian Lillard, he want to come. Greek Freak want to come. So the Knicks, we going in the right direction. There's some folks that got nerve to be Golden State Warrior fans. They ain't even in the doggone thing. The Miami Heat got swept. We changed the culture, Bishop. It's a winning culture now. The Knicks are a winning culture. Nobody thought that playoff basketball would be back at Madison Square Garden. Now, let me say a couple of things. Julius Randle is a great basketball player, but Miami got swept, Vozo. They got swept. I ain't hear nobody saying nothing about Miami. And they were expected to go to the finals and all this stuff. They were in the finals last year. Don't y'all come on talking about my Knicks like that. We did better than anybody thought we would do. The Garden is back. Players are going to want to come back to the Garden. And everybody talking about, the Brooklyn Nets. All right, that's good. I'm with that. I don't hate the Brooklyn Nets, but I know New York is always going to be a Knicks town. Golden State didn't even make it in. The Lakers getting ready to get put out tomorrow. These are people that y'all said were going to make it to the finals. Nobody said the Knicks were going to make it to the finals. Y'all said the Knicks wouldn't even make it to the playoffs. Knicks had a great season, and every New Yorker, even if you hate the Knicks, like Reggie Miller hates the Knicks, got to admit that the Knicks turned it around this year. And while I'm on that, your old soft, skinny, anorexic self, Reggie Miller, you watch your mouth when you're doing Knick games. Reggie Miller should not be allowed to do no Knick games. They only do that stuff to us. How are you going to have one of our greatest enemies broadcasting our game on national television? He called Spike Lee a fair weather Knick fan. He threatened to jump over the table and get Spike Lee. He threatened him. And Reggie Miller said it out of his mouth. That's right, Jay. He said, we one star away. And now, you see, we had to create a culture that people would want to come to. Now we got a winning culture. I can't wait. I really think Damian Lillard coming to the Knicks. Because he's tired of losing out there in Portland. He's going to come to the big city. And I cried a couple of tears tonight. I cried a little bit. Because I love my Knicks. But my Knicks did great this year. My Knicks did great. And Reggie Miller don't need to do no more Knick games. Reggie Bullock shoots a three-pointer and makes it. Reggie Miller, his hating self, well, the Knicks ought to be used to somebody named Reggie hitting three-pointers in the playoffs here. I'm telling you, if we go get Damian Lillard and bring Melo back too, let Melo retire with a ring from New York. And that's going to happen next year. I'm excited. I'm not depressed. I'm not upset that the Knicks lost. I'm excited because we were even in the playoffs. And some folks say, oh, why are the Knicks celebrating like that? They only won one game when we was out there celebrating in the streets. Because you got to crawl before you walk. And you got to walk before you run. If you have a child, when your child took his first steps, you took the camera, you told everybody, you called the people, called your friends, showed everybody, you were clapping, all happy, just for a few steps. That's how Knicks fans are. We saw some steps, so we happy. Of course, we're going to celebrate. But next year, we ain't going to be taking little baby steps. We're going to be running. We got the coach. We got some players. We're going to get Dame Lillard and Carmelo. I'm telling you, the culture has changed. But I ain't done with you, Reggie. And this Trae Young, Chico DeBarge, Christopher Williams, your old dog hair thing, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth how you talk to the Knicks fans, all this bowing at the end of the game. You ain't out of New York yet. You still got to get on the plane and get out of here. And James Dolan, as soon as the owner step away, James Dolan is not selling the team. Are you kidding me? He don't just own the Knicks. He owns Madison Square Garden, which means he owns the Rangers. He owns all of our security friends that work there. He owns the Garden. So he's not going to sell the Knicks. He stepped back and let them do what they do. He didn't even come to the games. That's what we need. That's exactly what we need. All we need James Dolan to do is write the checks. Write the checks. So with the Knicks out, I'm hoping that the Brooklyn Nets win the championship. I hope they do. Again, I don't hate the Brooklyn Nets, but I'm not going to be no bandwagon fan. Some of y'all didn't even know Brooklyn Nets was New Jersey Nets. Y'all didn't know that. If you a Brooklyn Net fan and you don't know who Derek Coleman is, you ain't no fan. You just like the Barclays Center. And you like going over to Target and getting them hot dogs from in front of Target. That's all you like. If you a Brooklyn Net fan and you can't tell me who Drazen Petrovic is, you ain't no fan. You a bandwagon fan. You a Brooklyn Nets fan, but you don't know who Kenny Anderson is. Come on here. A real fan is there in the ups and in the downs. You a new Brooklyn Nets fan, you don't know who Sam Bowie is. Derek Coleman, Buck Williams, Jason Williams, and all these fellas. How you claim to be a Brooklyn Net fan, but you don't even, they was in New Jersey? I didn't know that. You think they just grew right out the Barclays Center, out the ground? All y'all just coming up? And that's how church folks do, with whatever's hot. Whatever's hot, that's where they're going. That's where they go. Whoever's hot this week, whoever church hot this month, that's where we gonna go. Now, since we're here talking about church guys like sports, the Celtics lost yesterday too. And there is a hot topic going on. The Celtics were talking about firing their coach, Brad Stevens, all year. This is the lowest seed that the Celtics have finished in the last 5 seasons. The Celtics had a horrible year this year, and they were threatening to fire the coach. Let me tell you, white man Brad Stevens, what happened to him today. After the Nets got eliminated last night after the Celtics, got eliminated by the Brooklyn Nets last night, Brad Stevens today did not get fired like we thought he was, but he got promoted. They were talking about firing him. But instead of him getting fired as the coach, he gets promoted to the front office. When does that happen for us? When have you ever almost got fired at your job and they promoted you to the front office? If that ain't privilege, I ain't never seen it in my life. The man was supposed to get fired as head coach. They meet him in the office and they say, okay, you can't be the head coach. We're going to make you the general manager and you help us pick the coach. They didn't do that for Doc Rivers. With the Clippers, they got him out of town. They didn't do that for Nate McMillan. They shipped him out of town. They didn't do that for nobody else. And I'm going to tell you this. And some folk don't like when I say this stuff. One thing about these white folks, they look out for their own. Oh yeah, this church guys like sports, but we got to talk some real stuff. They look out for their own. I wish black folk will look out for their own the same way. I wish black folks would look out for their own, because Stephen A. Smith said it today. You know who picked the coach for the Brooklyn Nets? Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving picked the coach. So while Mark Jackson is sitting there chilling, looking for a job, Kevin Durant and Kyrie said, no, let's go get Steve Nash. Steve Nash never coached a day in his life, and Mark Jackson is the key to Golden State Warriors' success. And then James Harden is in Houston with a black coach that has just got the job. James Harden gained 50 pounds in 2 days and said, I'm not playing for him. And then James Harden comes to the Nets and plays for, guess who? Mike D'Antoni. How come we don't look out for our own? Well, we ain't got that kind of power. All right, let's deal with that. Mark Jackson is still without a job. Sam Cassell still without a job. Patrick Ewing stuck coaching at Georgetown. Let's see. Can I find a black owner in the NBA that can give a black coach a job? Let's go out to Charlotte. Their owner is Michael Jordan, a black owner. Not no 5% owner, owner of the team. How come MJ ain't reaching out to the black coach, interviewing these black coaches? Because white folks look out for their own. And we don't do that. I know, yeah, we love our culture. We black, I'm black, we do that. But it's something about us. We rather shoot each other down than build each other up. We don't reach back down and pick back people up. And I'm not mad at Tim Tebow. Some folks, if you don't know football, you don't know all the ins and outs of how this Tebow thing worked. Tim Tebow was a college superstar at the University of Florida, I believe it was. He won 2 national championships there with a guy named Urban Meyer. Tim Tebow goes to the NFL. He's an okay, decent quarterback. Then he gets blackballed by the NFL, and the NFL no longer wants him. Back in 2013, he couldn't find a job in the NFL. But his college coach that was coaching him in Florida gets a job in the NFL, and he said, you know what I'm going to do for you, Tim Tebow? Since you my dude, since you my boy, since I rock with you, and we did things in college 10 years ago, I'm going to reach out, pull you up, and put you not on the team, but I'm going to try you out at least. Urban Meyer looked out for his dude. They stick together. You think a black coach going to look out for one of his players from college? Urban Meyer said, look, I know you can't be no quarterback. I know you can't do that, but I'll let you come and try out at tight end. They look out for their own, but we don't do the same thing. When we make it, we ain't reaching out to pull somebody back up. When we make it, we ain't trying to help everybody come back up. And I can't get mad at somebody for looking out for their own. It's so screwed up with our people. Let me show you something. Austin Rivers was without a job. His daddy is a coach. His father. His father wouldn't get him off the waiver rod. And now he out there in Denver killing it. So the Tim Tebow thing, I don't know if we're gonna call that white privilege or what. We can call it what we want, but I'll tell you this, they gonna look out for Urban Meyer looked out for his dude. How many of us gonna look out for somebody? Like, how many people looked out for you? They made it, and now that they made their own, they act like they don't know you. So we got a lot to deal with. Instead of always pointing at the white privilege, we can create black privilege. We can create it by doing right by each other. We can do that. Even in the hip hop arena, or even in the music entertainment, even in the church arena, we do this to each other. We don't help each other out. We don't help pull each other. Some of us do, but it's not a known fact. We rather get there and then stomp on everybody else on our way there. But then we get mad and we want to say that's privilege. That's privilege. No, we can create our own privilege by looking out for our own. We can create our own privilege. Mark Jackson ain't got a job, can't get a freaking interview. Michael Jordan ought to step in and say, yo, I own this. So I can interview and hire whoever I want. That's how we do, Vo. We just looking for an opportunity. we ain't trying to help out. So I ain't mad at Tebow. This whole Brad Stevens thing, that thing is funny to me. How you about to get fired and then you end up in the front office, and not just in the front office, but you actually gonna pick who the next coach gonna be. Look what Tom Thibodeau did. Look what Tom Thibodeau did. Everybody gave up on Derrick Rose. Tom Thibodeau said, that's my dude. Let me go grab him. Taj Gibson was sitting on his couch. Nobody wanted him. Tom Thibodeau said, that's my dude. He rolled hard with me in Chicago. Let me go grab him. Is that privilege? But look, it was a white man that did that. Come on. How you think a black guy would do that? See, we won't do that for each other. Nobody thought Derrick Rose had anything left in the tank. But Tom Thibodeau said, that's my dude. I'm going to give him a shot. Taj Gibson was on the living room couch watching the Knicks games. He wasn't even on the team. Tom Thibodeau said, that's my dude. I'm going to give him a shot. We need to do the same for each other. Stop blaming everything on white privilege and all this stuff. Stop doing all that. Yeah, I just talked about that, about Brad Stevens, Ned. Danny Ainge stepped down. They were supposed to fire Brad Stevens, and instead of firing Brad Stevens, they elevate him to Danny Ainge's position. That don't happen with us. That don't happen with us. All right, y'all. This has been another episode of Church Guys Like Sport, and I want to say one more thing about this tennis girl, this Osaka girl, the girl that beat Venus Serena the other year. I think it's unfair for her to have to back out of the tournament because she's not able to talk to the media. She said it's bad for her mental health, and they fined her $15,000. So they're going to continue to fine her $15,000. And I think she was cool with the fine, but then they said, no, we gonna kick you off the tournament because you won't talk to the media because of mental health. This mental health stuff is important. Mental health, and they take it so lightly. Listen to me. White folks ain't the only one that deal with mental health. Soon as a white person kill 20 folks, they say, oh, he's mentally ill. Black person killed 20 folks. Oh, we gonna electrocute him 20 times. So this young girl, she's dealing with mental issues. And listen, the way the world been the last 2 years, 2020 and now even in 2021, we all got mental health issues. They gotta be nice. You got to be nice. And they say, well, she has $54 million she made last year. It don't matter how much money you make. Money don't fix mental problems. Money don't fix your problems. And they doing her dirty. And she just said, you know what? I'm just going to back out the tournament. Mental health awareness is extremely important, especially today. You don't make somebody back out of the tournament because they dealing with mental health and they don't want to talk to the media. That's what will happen with Kyrie. Kyrie Irving's over there talking about the earth is flat and the earth is round, spraying incense, angel dust all over the place, whatever he was doing. And he stopped talking to the media. They were fining him $20,000 a day. And you got to be careful because that's a young girl. She ain't no old lady. She's a young girl. That mental health is crazy. That mental health, it'll shut you down. Money can drive you crazy if you ain't got the right team. That's right, Ned. And I'm praying for that Osaka girl. I'm praying for her. Because a lot of folks think, oh, because she got money, she good. It's a lot of people that got a lot of money, but their head is jacked up. All right? That's all I'm really going to mess with today. I wanted to come on earlier, but I was doing some things around the city. But the Knicks had a good year. And I want all the Knicks fans to be proud because we stayed with the team even when they were losing. We stayed along with the team. And these NBA playoffs have been a good playoffs so far. We don't know what the Clip is doing because that Luka Doncic, Luka, he looked like Larry Bird out there. Luka looked like Larry Bird out there just killing. Look like the Lakers might go home, and I really think Brooklyn. I hope Brooklyn wins it, but I'm not with all these fake Brooklyn Net fans. If you a Net fan and you've been rolling with them for years, I got you. But I ain't talking about all these fake. Where were you when they was in the Meadowlands? All right, y'all. Peace out. This has been another episode of Church Guys Like Sports 2. Remember, you can love God and love sports. Loving God doesn't take the man out of you or the woman out of you. You can love God and still root for your team. Peace out, y'all. Church Guys Like Sports 2.
IQ, grab the garden, going crazy. Every night the kid never ceased to amaze me. K Knox, he work around the clock. at the 5. Throw it up, Peyton, and watch out for the lies. Oh no, I can't forget my boy Ty. Then went and got D-Rose.
Don't forget Mitchell Robinson coming back too.
Getting busy. We need a job.
Right, McCants. Where were you last year when the Nets weren't doing nothing?
Meant to be. Keep throwing up the threes. Hey, Rick James.
Especially that Corbin McLean. I'm gonna get him. Love y'all. Cash App is on the bottom. Peace. $. David Wright Music.